Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm finally filming a sit down Sunday video and I'm so excited to do it. Bennett is busy brushing his teeth. You brushing your toofers? Sorry I look like this. This is just me. If you're new here, I don't really put myself together for videos unless it's like a weekday and I have to go to work. Disclaimer really quick, I am not a medical professional. I have no real medical background at all. Anything that I say is just purely my opinion and things that have worked for us, me, him, my husband, just things like that. I just want to put that disclaimer out there that, you know, do your own research on things. Bennett, honey, I know they want to see yourself. Here, come over here. Do your own research on life. Do your own, whichever path you want to follow, how you want to feed yourself, your children. Just, I'm not a medical professional and I'm not fully educated on everything that I talk about. I just go with my gut a lot of the time and just do what I feel is right for myself, for Bennett, and my stubborn husband who eats like garbage. A background as to like why I'm really particular about ingredients, especially for Bennett. I also just want to also say that I'm not perfect at all. Like, he had cinnamon bread for breakfast today, non-organic, just crap. His father feeds him donuts all the time. I like to think of myself as like 80-20. I feel like I'm like that, first of all, because I don't want him to develop like almost like obsessions. I've nannied children in the past where the parents were very like anti-sugar, anti-processed food, which I totally understand. But I feel like as soon as you make something off limits, kids get very obsessed with it and they overindulge when they are in the presence of that kind of food. So I kind of, I believe like I'm 80-20. The number one reason I am super cautious and super aware of like ingredients and things for Bennett and stuff is because growing up I had a lot of difficulty in school with ADHD, and you know, back in the 90s it wasn't as relevant as it is now, or if it is, like, people didn't like diagnose like they do now. And a lot of the findings and stuff say that a lot of it is linked to ingredients in our food. So like artificial dyes, sugar, there's so many ingredients. Again, I'm not like fully informed on this. Like, I'm not like a professional. I hear bits and pieces of things and they stick in my brain and then I put it into my mommy practice. I am very concerned for Bennett to have the same problems in school with focusing, absorbing information. Like, I really struggled in school. I was a medicated child as well. And I know that sometimes you just need it. I just don't want him to have those issues in school. So I'm very aware. That's one of the number one reasons why I'm very aware of, not aware, one of the number one reasons why I'm very cautious with ingredients and things for Bennett. Because I know how it affects the brain. I know how it affects children's behavior. I mean, as a nanny even, I've seen children like completely change based on like the ingredients in their food. Their behaviors are, it's, the last family that I nannied for, the children had a lot of like hyperactivity tendencies, which is totally fine. But they also ate like pure garbage. They ate a ton of sugary foods. They ate a lot of processed foods. And I tried to explain to the mom, like, let's try really hard to like push like protein snacks. Let's try really hard to like not give them like Fun Dip. Like, they would eat Fun Dip a lot. You know, like the candy with the sugar stick. I was like, let's try really hard for like a little while. Like, I honestly just told her like for like a week to see if like we could notice a difference. And we noticed such a difference when the kids came home from school and had like a healthy option for a snack instead of Doritos and sugar cereal. And it was kind of like a free-for-all with those kids. And so I feel like my experience as like a child care professional has also like helped impact like how I choose to do things for Bennett. Totally off topic of like food and ingredients, like for example, like screen time. I know of 3 families that I nannied for where screen time was strict, like 20 minutes, that's all you can have. It was like, they were very strict about it, and the children were obsessed with screen time. If we went anywhere that there was a television, they were sucked into it. If they were allowed to watch a movie, they just wanted more. I just feel like I fully believe that, like, if you limit something and you make it so, like, off limits, like almost like forbidden, that's where, like, the obsessions and the addictions stem from. I forget what I was last talking about. I had to charge my camera. I think it was like how making things off limits to kids makes them, like, want it even more. Again, I'm not a professional. These are not, like, scientifically based ideas. They're literally just my own thoughts, my opinions on certain things. I have been in the child care professional industry since, God, I mean, forever. I mean, I started, like, full-time nannying when I was, like, 20, 30, oh my God, like 16 years. So it's just, like, based on, like, my observations and stuff. So as far as, like, food, why I'm so cautious, like I said, just to, like, summarize for myself, because of my fears of him growing up with the same struggles, I don't want him to, number 2, I don't want him to get, like, obsessive over certain foods, because once you make something off limits, it makes it like they need it even more. And just because I'm so aware of ingredients, like, I sometimes cannot even believe the things they put in food. I was at Aldi last week, and what was I trying to buy? Not last week. I think it was like a few weeks ago. I was trying to buy beef broth for, like, beef stew. And Aldi had organic beef broth with caramel color in it. What? Caramel color is linked to cancer. So many of these ingredients are linked to, again, something being linked to something doesn't mean it's officially, like, something bad. But once you start consuming it in tons, like, it could be bad. So many ingredients now are also linked to, like, infertility. I had so many infertility problems. I ate like crap as a kid. Could it be linked? Yes. In a recent video, somebody had posted on mine that monk fruit sweetener has erythritol in it. Erythritol is now linked to, like, heart disease or something like that. Again, I don't consume too much of it, so I'm not really concerned. And I'm kind of contradicting myself right now, what I'm about to say. Like, you can go crazy with ingredients. You can. You can go super crazy. You can get obsessive with it. And, you know, it could take over your whole brain. I have trouble not becoming obsessive with things. So that's, again, why I try to live, like, 80-20. When Bennett started eating more and more, I'd get very obsessive over, like, what other people were feeding him, and I'd have to bring myself back down to earth, saying there is no perfect life. Like, there isn't. I could legit be psycho, but he's still gonna be exposed to certain foods, ingredients. It is what it is. But like I've mentioned before, I just want to be cautious, and I want to control it when I can. I just want to be mindful of the things that I buy. Like the beef broth, for example. Like, if I could buy a different version without the caramel color, I will. If I could buy him cookies without added ingredients or with minimal sugar, I will. Do I still want him to have cookies? Absolutely. He just heard me say cookies. Honey, we don't have any cookies right now. I placed a grocery order. And I know food right now is so expensive. It's like, it makes it so much harder for families and moms and dads and everybody to just, like, be more conscious with their ingredients. This video is all over the place. If you've been following me for a long time, you know my sit down Sunday videos tend to be all over the place, but this is just something that I'm really passionate about and something that I just really wanted to talk about. So also in my family, there's a lot of autoimmune disorders. My dad suffers quite a bit, and I know that, again, ingredients are very much a trigger when it comes to those things, if that makes sense. I have the MTHFR gene mutation on 2. I think I have the double MTHFR gene mutation, which also affects, like, how your body processes toxins. There's just so many different reasons why. My grandpa had an autoimmune disorder. I feel like it just runs deep in my family, and I've watched my dad suffer, and I've also seen how much his life has drastically changed since he has become, my dad is another level of ingredients and what he eats and what he puts in his body, he legit like, he's like hardcore. So I'm not like that. But because he is hardcore and he eats a very strict paleo diet and he is super mindful of his ingredients, he's completely like changed a lot of his health issues. So because I know that that stuff is in my genes, is that what it is? It's part of like, I know that a lot of different, what's the word I'm looking for? Is it genetic? I think just because it's genetic for me and I know that it can pass on down onto Bennett, I'm just like super mindful because of that as well. Psoriasis is the autoimmune disease that he has, and the ingredients make that flare up even more, like certain ingredients in food, like additives, preservatives, just all the crap. So because I know that that runs in our family, I know that Bennett has a chance of suffering that too. So I feel like being proactive might help prevent that. It might not. Who knows? I could be doing all this stuff and he could still have issues. It's just life. But I just feel like if I am mindful, it's just like one little thing to maybe help with it. Again, there is no judgment on what anybody feeds their kids. From me, at least. I don't know. The world can be judgmental. I have 2 friends right now with little kids and they are feeding their babies, you know, purees. I did baby-led weaning. Am I judging them? No. I have a friend who doesn't want to worry about organic food. Do I care? No, that's her choice. Everybody has their own choices in life. And it is what it is. Like I said, the purpose of this video, I've mentioned several times that I'm very mindful of his ingredients. And I just kind of wanted to sit down and explain why, because I have a reason why. I just feel like with the way the world is going and how everything causes cancer and how everything, you can really get so obsessed over all of these different things. If I can control one little piece of it in a healthy way, I will. I do plan to film this week, like what I eat in a day and what Bennett eats in a day. My last video, I shared that I gave him mac and cheese for lunch. He eats normal kid foods. He had chicken fingers and french fries for lunch. But I try to be mindful of those ingredients. If I could, as a working mom, make him chicken nuggets every single day from scratch, I would. Do I sometimes on the weekend make a big batch of like my own chicken for him and freeze it? Yes. Do I have the time for that all the time? No. Which is why there are so many convenient options at the grocery store. If you guys have any other questions, if this didn't make sense, I'm sorry. I just kind of wanted to sit down and get my thoughts out. I think I said that 35 times. I really hope to get back into a schedule of sit down Sunday videos. So if you have any suggestions, I think next week I'm gonna plan to, what's the matter, honey? You okay? It's almost nap time. Next week I think I'm gonna talk about how I ended up losing I'm almost down 40 pounds without tracking or following a plan. If you guys are interested in hearing more about that, that's on my plan. That's on my schedule. I actually did sit down and like write out ideas because I really want to get back into this. When I'm sitting down and I'm editing a video, I feel so creative and I feel so like, I don't know, I just love it. It's just like getting me motivated to do it. All right, my friends, thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.